instance.
Okay, now talking about receiving the registered members of, by INEC, and then if eventually at the end of the day, considering the Nigerian factor, and then INEC comes up to say that they have these registered members, including that of Abia State, they have it in their coffers, what happens?
It becomes a problem because there is already a judgment there. Why didn't they present it in the court? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because INEC was sued and INEC served. The only thing INEC will do is, if they were not served, they can bring an application to the court to set aside the same judgment. If you were not served and the judgment was entered in the first appearance, you can bring an application to the court asking the court to set aside the judgment on the ground of non-service. And non-service means that the court does not have jurisdiction over you. The jurisdiction, the court has jurisdiction to hear the matter, but the court does not have jurisdiction to make order against you because you were not served. So if Labour Party and INEC are saying that you were not served, let them go to that court and bring an application to set aside the judgment. But if they were served and they refuse to appear in court, it becomes a problem to them. It becomes a problem for them. Because I am hearing now, Labour Party is telling that they submitted. But the question now is, as at the time that they submitted that thing, because I've seen it, it was in April. As at April, almost everybody in the Labour Party were in another party. Most of them were in another party. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They were in another party. The parties have not presented their primary. It was after, in Abia State, it was after PDP had their primary, and some of them saw that they were not going to get it. They now decamped to the Labour Party. Some of them in APC, some of them in other parties. So that was actually by May. So by that, the question is, if they joined APC, if they joined Labour by May, why would their name be there? Now the question is, if their names are not there, can they be called to be candidate? Because the law is that for you to be a candidate party, you must be a member of a political party. And in the membership, the law says that membership list must be submitted was 30 days. And during the election, it is seen that you that claim to be a candidate, your name was not on that list. That means you're not a member. That means you cannot be said to be sponsored by a party. And let me tell you, some parties have issues that the issue of waiver. I'm not supporting the party, just telling you what the law says. The issue of waiver is no longer a live issue now. Before, parties had what to do. Right now, the benefit of Section 77, that issue of waiver is no longer a live issue. Because the court has made the law has made it clear that you are supposed to submit the rest of your members. And if your member is not there, the issue of waiver cannot arise. No political party has the power to waive that section. Because a constitution of a political party, even if whoever is there, cannot override the electoral act. I don't know whether I'm making sense to you. Yeah. The constitution of a party cannot override or cannot supersede the clear provision of the constitution or the clear provision of the electoral act. So electoral act says anybody who wants to be, the purpose of that, look at the purpose of that thing. The purpose of that thing is to stop you from jumping from one party to another. There's a timetable for you to do election. You join the party, you know you can be in. You help them when you win or you lose, you go. You don't just have the right to just jump from another party to that party, because if you do so, the party takes you up. Your name is not in the register of members of the INEC. So on what ground will you be called a member? These are things that the electoral act will deal with. And mark what I'm telling you today. This thing I'm saying now will be the argument, will be what the court will rule. That you have to marry the section that says that a candidate cannot contest the election if he's sponsored by a party and he's a member of that party. Is there in the constitution? Now, membership list was submitted. Your name was not there, and then the party is sponsoring you when your name is not there. Automatically, you're not a member.
Council, let's get something clear here. From your explanation, it looks as if the Labour Party had submitted the registered member list before this other group now came in.
Okay, let me answer it. First of all, in the judgment that was delivered, the court ruled that Labour Party had no list at all. They were given opportunity to present their list, or maybe they failed. I'm not saying, because there is still this issue of list. Some members of Labour Party are now on their Facebook, they are now showing lists that there was a list submitted. I'm not saying that even if that list is available, I'm not talking that are the names of those people there. So what I'm saying is that legally speaking, there is no list.
Okay.
There is no list because the judgment says there is no list.
Now, how is it possible that Justice Mohammed Nasser Yunusa of the Kano Division of the Federal High Court came out openly to say that the participants, that the candidates who participated in the 23 general election in Abia State were not parties before his court.
It's not possible. It's not possible. Okay, you mean what he said in the last part?
Yes.
But it's not what he said. It's clear now. Look at what he said. He said that the candidate that participated in United States in the election are not parties to the suit, and that if they want an order to be made for the issuance of a certificate, that they should not bring an application. That's what he's saying. Yeah. He's not saying that the order does not apply to Abia State. He said that if you are a candidate and you now want to take the judicial judgment to now have certificates issued to you, you should not file a suit. That's what he's saying. Now, it doesn't affect the order he made earlier, nullifying the candidates in the 36 states. Which
just before we go on a short break, there was something you said here. You said, irrespective of these anomalies, that it will not stop the swearing in of the governor-elect of Abia State, Alex Otti.
Yes, that's the law now. It will not. One, the judgment debate was a declarative judgment, but even if it's not, what do you call him, Alex Otti'S group, they have the option of filing an application for an appeal. When they file an appeal, if they feel that there is any order there that is executory, they can also file a motion for stay of execution. If there is no order that is executory, they just file an appeal. When they file an appeal, it operates as a stay to that thing. If it's a declaratory order, it means that when they file an appeal, it operates as a stay. But if there is an executory order, if there's an executory order, they have to file the appeal and also file a motion for stay. And once you file a motion for stay, automatically nothing should be done until when the court has determined the issue of stay or not. So, and if you look at the time limit, it's just next week or so. So it cannot stop it. And moreover, it's the first court of first instance. Appeal court can still declare otherwise. Supreme Court. Remember this guy. It's happened in Nigeria, in United States. When Uchoga got the judgment in the court of Naokono, what do you call him? He wanted to be sworn in. Because another court stopped him from being sworn in. Because you cannot be sworn in when there is an appeal, against your order. So this is the first court. So anybody who wants to become governor, apart from arrest, should wait until the case gets to Supreme Court. That is the law. No court, nobody can swear. I cannot even decide to do that. Nobody can swear that person in based on this judgment.
Okay, our wonderful viewers, we are going to go on a very short break. When we come back, issues of the moment, we'll continue. Don't go away. There are still more to hear about this. So stay where you are. You're a member of the Labour Party or other parties who are in court. It is important you listen. Don't go away. Back.
That Living Television, the latest satellite station on Sunview Channel, is received all over Nigeria and Africa. You can watch Living Television on every free-to-air HD decoder, including Strong HD and CSAT HD. Why keep paying for monthly subscriptions when you can have fun for free? With Living Television, you can watch lots of wrestling, football, documentaries, and Nigerian films, including discussions and debates on current Nigeria issues. Watch free live matches on La Liga Spain and Serie A, Italy and Bundesliga, German League 1, and French matches on over 80 premium channels. Wow! You can also sponsor your programs such as live church services and crusades, political rallies, burial and wedding ceremonies, promotional interviews, announcements, advertisements, documentaries, and commercials. We are situated at number 1 Judges Street off Ikorebane Road, Aba, Abia State. For further enquiries, call 0805 367 3900. Signed, Management.
I love you.
viewers, I am glad you're still there watching your station, the Living Television. Back again, remember issues of the moment. We are talking about the Federal High Court sitting in Kano that nullified the candidature of Alex Otti and other 36 states, and including FCT, Abuja, of all the Labour parties. And then that's where we are today. And I'm still on with Barrister Epero Obunna. Council, back on this. Now we are talking about Alex Otti because he's the principal here in Abia. What about other contestants, that contested under the Labour Party? Are they also affected by this?
It's very clear. It's very clear that from what you read out and for the judgment that it affects everybody. The judgment affects all the Labour candidates in Nigeria. That is the truth. That is why I say that if they don't like it, let them go on appeal. For now, the court have declared that the votes casted for them were all wasted votes, including P2B, unfortunately, including P2B. So they should do something if they feel that that's the truth. That's what the meaning of that judgment. I don't know why they didn't take the case very serious, but maybe they did that. I don't know what happened, but nevertheless, they cannot correct it on appeal. But now let me say this too. There is this issue that people have talked about: pre-election, post-election matter. To me, as a lawyer, there are three divisions of the court when it comes to election. We have election, we have post-election matter, we have pre-election matters, and we have the ordinary jurisdiction of the courts when it comes to political parties. Let me explain what I mean. If you look at section 85, it talks about pre-election matters. If you look at other sections, it talks about post-election matter, as per when you have done election. Now, there's another jurisdiction. What is that? The issue of ordinary jurisdiction of the court. Assuming PDP wants to do something, or assuming the national chairman of PDP wants to do something, I don't like it, or he's overstaying his back, which court will you go to? Is it not the Federal High Court? Yeah. Now, is that a post-election matter? It's not. Is it a pre-election matter? It's not. It's not a jurisdiction of the court. I don't know if it's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So, the Federal High Court has jurisdiction on political parties. So, the person that went to court has local standing. He is a member of Labour Party. He shows his local standing Labour Party. And he's saying that all the people who are candidates of Labour Party, none of them is a member. That is what he's saying. He now quoted section 77 to show that those people do not comply with the law. So you now understand what I'm saying? Yeah. When some lawyers tell you pre-election, post-election, I don't agree. To me, as a lawyer, I feel that what was done was that they invoked the judicial of the court on political process in Nigeria. And the INEC, especially of section 251, the sub-cure, is an agent of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The law says that Federal High Court has jurisdiction when you are suing any agent of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And INEC is an agent of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you don't see the figure upon which, so that's to me, I think what we should do is accept all the best lawyers and attack them instead of going to social media to be
from this your advice, if it's actually like this, are you saying this can be reversed?
Well, the truth is that anything can happen. I have to be honest to you. But for what I know about law, it will be difficult for them to reverse. And you also remember the issue of section 84 of 1 that they say that before you do primaries, you have to notify INEC. INEC came up to say that the Labour Party did not notify them. I saw the thing circulating around. INEC saying that Labour Party did not notify them. And we all know what happened in Labour Party. We all know what happened in Labour Party that I don't know whether Labour Party had a primary at all. I know it was like something they just did. They were started sharing nomination papers and all those things before people were there. So INEC is saying, but nevertheless, I'm not saying it's true or it's not true. It depends on facts. But from what they are saying, it appears that INEC is saying that Labour Party did not come. And if you look at it, they did not notify them and they did not monitor it. And if you look at section 84 sub 1, it says that parties will conduct their congresses and that it shall be monitored by INEC. The word there is shall. And INEC says they did not monitor the primary. So if INEC did not monitor the delegate election, the word congresses and the primary, it becomes a problem.
Okay, you mentioned P2B, and we all know that P2B left for Labour Party even before the likes of the state governors and so on who contested. P2B went to Labour Party before most of them. How can this affect his...
P2B, they come from PDP.
Yeah.
At the point, he had no party. It was now later that he joined Labour Party, if you remember. There was this issue which party. But the question is this: was his name on any list submitted? For now, Labour Party has not come to tell us that P2B's name was in the list submitted. That's the question. You know, I want P2B to win. Every woman wants Labour Party P2B to win. But we're talking law. And I will not come here to deceive you and tell you what is not law because I want my man to win. No. You invited me here to tell you the truth on law. The fact remains that there is no evidence that any of the Labour Party candidates' name was in the list submitted to INEC. And there is also no evidence that there was even a list in the first place. The Labour Party have not told us there's a list they submitted. And in that court, in the Kano States, in the Kano High Court, Federal High Court case, there is no evidence that any list was actually submitted.
Though you preempted the next question I was about asking, because a lot of people, would I say greenhorns, had said that the Kano has no right. The Kano, the High Court, the Federal High Court sitting in Kano has no right to determine what happens, in Abia State.
Okay, let me just clear it now. Yes, let me just clear it now. The decision in Kano was not strictly against Abia State.
Yes.
It was against Labour Party, the whole Nigeria.
Yes.
So what about with the Federal High Court not have decision? Look at it now. The court was declared. The court said the order I'm making is binding on all Labour Party candidates in the whole country. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The reason why I'm talking about Abia State is that Abia State is the only state that has a Labour Party candidate as a governor. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes. That is why everybody's talking about Abia State, because Alex Otti is the biggest beneficiary of the Labour Party tsunami when it comes in Nigeria. As he's talking to you now, he's the biggest beneficiary.
All right. Considering what has been happening since after the presidential election, and even not some foreign bodies not congratulating the president-elect and so on, and even the president, or rather the chairman of INEC, coming out openly to accept the fact that there were manipulations in the election. Don't you think that this is another ploy to ensure that P2B misses its target?
This is like all conspiracy theories. They are all conspiracy theories. I am a lawyer. I don't believe in rumor. The truth about it, if you want to, just like what I said this morning when I was on Enyimba FM, if you want to contest election, start very early to start preparing your ground. Election in Nigeria is no longer the way it is. People, they campaign. People using money to be buying things. People writing results the way they know it. Somebody will be in his house and write a result, give himself 120,000 votes. It's no longer like that. People, they campaign at the last minute. It's no longer like that. Bringing out people, forging results, it's no longer like that. Electoral Act has streamlined and sanitized the electoral process. See, you may be declared the winner, but when you go to the tribunal will declare you not to be the winner. That is it. So I don't believe P2B has good cases, just like the issue of overvoting. But just like P2B scam, we're talking about 25%. You cannot tell me that somebody who that Abuja must have 25% before he become governor, he become president. That is nonsense. Let me tell you why it's nonsense. Section 42 of the Constitution says that no Nigerian should be discriminated against by virtue of where he is or where he comes from, where he's living. If you are saying that Abuja must have 25%, it means that you are elevating Abuja higher than other states, which is inconsistent with Section 42. Then Section 299 of the Constitution says that by virtue, by the interpretation of this Constitution, that FCT shall be regarded as a state. Do you know it's there? Section 299 sub 1. It says that FCT, Abuja, shall be regarded as a state. So that means that the interpretation should be that 6 states plus Abuja, all of them get to 25%, and not 25% of 36 states and then 25% of Abuja. No, that interpretation is inconsistent with the Constitution. So then the people stop arguing that way. And the issue of Bola Tinubu's criminal record. The law says that if you are convicted after 10 years, that conviction shall no longer be used as a ground to disqualify you. Is that the Constitution? I hope you have read it. It's there. So somebody being convicted 10 years, after 10 years, the conviction does not stand. 3. The law says that you can only use conviction of fraud or dishonesty and not convictions on drug trafficking. It's not a matter of fraud and dishonesty. This is a matter of law. Some drug trafficking, carrying drug is not a matter of drug. You understand that some states in America, in Las Vegas, it is legal to smoke in Las Vegas. Just like so, the issue of drug is not a national issue. Some countries, some laws accept drug, some laws do not accept drug. So the issue of drug is not a matter of dishonesty or fraud. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but there are some areas Peter Obi's lawyers would hinge on. The issue of overvoting, the issue of the fact that they won, and some other issues. Then like the issue of Shetima having double domination. That is a live issue. And we hope that the Supreme Court will handle it on 2060. They will deal with it. There are some grounds on which Peter Obi's lawyers will hold on and will win. But Nigeria's last sensationalizing issue. And you know that many young people are in social media and they are all supporting Labour Party. I see them, if you have a contrary opinion, you are a sabu. That's the way we look at it. But the law is that the law is not a matter of rumor. Law is a matter of what you can prove.
So from what you've just said now about Tinubu, you're saying that the legibility of Tinubu as a result of that drug issue
is not. That's why every lawyer knows it's a live issue. The drug conviction happened before he became governor of Lagos State, and he was governor for 8 years. It just ended, and after that, I think he stayed at home for another 8 years.
8 years, yes.
So it's even more than that because Fashola was governor for 8 years.
8 years.
Then Ambode came in 4 years.
4 years.
Plus Sabolu 4 years. That's 16 years. So this drug issue happened 16 plus 8, 24 years ago. So how can you use what happened to 4 years ago to disqualify him? And even the issue certificate, Chicago State University have come to say that Bola Tinubu was a student. So what I'm just saying is, let us separate rumor or what do you call it, pepper soup discussion from law. Obi's lawyers should focus on the one that can help them, like the issue of Shetima. They can use that one to disqualify him, like the issue of voting. But if the Supreme Court rules that Shetima did not do the double nomination on 26th, then it becomes a problem. It means that area has been dealt with.
But on moral grounds, are you saying a former drug baron is fit to be a president of a country?
What? If the law says that he's fit, he's fit. I'm a lawyer. If the law says that a drug baron, one, the law did not provide make the drug carrying as a qualification. Two, the law says even if it was 10 years. So as a lawyer, there's a difference between what law is and what law ought to be. Me, I'm telling you what law is. But you're not asking me what law ought to be. As a lawyer, I will make that one. A lawyer is bound to interpret the law. So morally speaking, a drug baron ought not to be a president, but Nigerian law says he can be a president.
All right, moving forward on what we were talking about. You remember in 2016, the National Judicial Council agency found Justice Yunusa guilty of bribery and other judicial misconduct and recommended that he be forced to retire. But the President Buhari declined to rectify the agency recommendation, putting the issue on hold for 5 years and forcing the judicial body to reinstate Mr. Yunusa. Do you think this has anything to do with the judgment?
No, there is nothing connecting that thing to it. He was found guilty from what you are saying. That was the recommendation. The president, in his own power, refused to remove him. If that was what happened, based on what you say, though, it has nothing to do with this case. You have to prove the allegation of bribery against him. I'm a lawyer. I work with facts. If there is evidence that Yunusa collected bribe, let them bring it now. If you don't bring it, you cannot use it. The NJC is not a court. NJC is not an administrative body. They can make that record. You may even discover that the NJC who somebody might have given bribe there too. So, but I'm not justifying him or saying it's rude, right or wrong. What I'm saying is that thing is not an issue to be considered because he is still a serving judge. If they are removing it, will be different.
You're a council, you're an Abia, and then we all are in Abia. And recently we also learned, even when the outgoing governor had congratulated the governor-elect, Alex Otti, and that the candidate for PDP is in court, and also the entire PDP in court against Otti. Do you think anything will come out of this?
What? In judiciary, never say never. In judiciary, never say never. My little problem with the candidature of the PDP is the issue of 30 days. I'm aware of the fact that there's a provision of the law that says that a political appointee should resign within 30 days, before 30 days to the day of the primary. To my knowledge, he was still acting as the chief of staff to the governor 30 days to the day of the primary. And when Uchikone was declared to be dead, that was now when he now came up. And it was not up to 30 days from the day he was declared to be dead to the day of the election So that's the only area I have a problem. But if PDP can put his ass together, depending on whether what I said now, so anybody raised it. If it was already, it's good. If it's raised, there's a problem. You know, I am aware that the APC has filed a suit in court asking that they should disqualify everybody. You know, the election is that the Labour Party came first, PDP second, YPP came third, APC came fourth, ABGA came fifth. I am aware that Ikechi Emenike has filed a suit in court. He even sued, from what I learned though, that he's joined PDP, YPP and Labour, asking that all of them should be disqualified. That he himself is the right person. And you know, if you look at his case is somehow. He is claiming that even YPP did not submit the 30 days. That's what he's claiming. That there was no 30 days compliance for 30 days. The same thing that they're using to remove it. He's raising it in his case. He's also raising it against Labour. He's also raising the issue of resignation of 30 days against Otti'S. So I don't know what happened. In the end, if the courts agree that Ikechi Emenike is the one who ought to be there, people will not start saying that we are seeing Hope Uzodinma again. The issue of Hope Uzodinma have come. But they will not look at law. You know, when people accuse judges of corruption, I will start laughing. When something happen, go to the internet, browse that decision and read it. Don't just run because somebody does not say hold the opinion that you like. You call him a slave or start calling him names. Go to my Facebook wall. When I write things, some intelligent people will comply. But some Labour Party people will tell us emperor that you are eating bribe. Who get me bribe? Anybody who knows emperor knows that I cannot collect bribe from you. And you know the funny part of it. Before I wrote that thing, I wrote an article that Alex Otti'S mandate was firm, but he was not joining that suit. When I wrote it, Labour Party people were sharing it. But later, I now went and read the judgment. And I came and told them that what I read before is different from this one, that this is no longer the same case. I became the devil. So you see that people judge you based on if you are saying what they like. If you are saying you don't like it, you become the devil. If what you're saying is good, you become the saint. But a good lawyer and an activist like people like us will stand on what you believe is the truth. I will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. The truth is that there's a problem. And that problem can favor anybody. So the lawyers, the tribunal should just do their best to do the best they can do so that they can get what they want. But I'm telling you that there will be paradigm changes when it comes to the issue of the candidate by the time we go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, before we go, I know at the point there was a time you opted to run for a particular political post in Abia State.
Yes.
What happened?
Yes, I was a candidate of YPP. I was in the ballot paper, and unfortunately, there were two things that worked against that thing. One, the OB movement. I was actually the most popular candidate. Everybody talking about emperor. I have done so many things in Abia State. I was instrumental to the abolition of Timas in court. I was actually the one that went to court. We filed the case against Timas. We abolished Timas. I also filed the case on the issue of infrastructure development levy. We won that case. We were in appeal. The court ruled that it is 100 naira. I also stopped the issue of borehole fee. I went to court. I sued the government and stopped borehole fees. I also stopped Abanot people. The Adisaburu in Abanot. I was able to stop them. I personally took it upon myself to stop them. I also did handle the issue of property rates and so many other issues in other states which I was instrumental to do. So when I presented myself for election, they will use their walking stick. Please see, what is the party of P2B? Can you ever say the mama papa pikin? They don't even care who is there. They don't even care. The person I'm contesting with it is a man that stays in a shopping center. A businessman in a shopping center who does not even understand what we talk when we talk about law. When we say law, he doesn't even understand it. And that was the person that warned me to go and make law. And you are removing a lawyer who knows law. But when I don't care, it is one of those things of life. So in the end, I was defeated by the Labour Party issue. And also, the PDP issue came in. You know, I'm sorry to say it, you know what happened in election. PDP had all the paraphernalia. They had the bullets, they had the guns, they had the policemen. You see, shooting. With my election in Obohe, there was so much shooting and snatching of ballot boxes. They cancelled the whole of Obohe because of irregularity. All of a sudden, we now heard that they've accepted the result. How can you cancel results and after 2 weeks or 1 week, you say you've accepted it? They told us that we're going to do a wrong election. We are all preparing. All of a sudden, we had them accepted it. In the end, when they got the results, they now gave Labour Party one, they gave PDP two, and they now gave me the third. And the PDP man, who I know I was more popular than, because of mago, all these things. So I just got tired of the system. People told me to go to court. I said, what am I going to court to do? I don't even believe in the court system in Nigeria. I'm sorry to say it. Because what's happening here, when it comes to election, carrying money, you can look at the issue of somebody accusing APC chieftain, in Abia North of trying to bribe the judiciary. They're talking about millions, 20 million, 30 million. Where will MPL get that kind of money? 50 million, 100 million naira. They're another lawyer like me. So I just told them, people should do your own thing. I try to serve. I'm not desperate about it. I'm a comfortable young man. I'm a lawyer. I have a law firm. I have lawyers in my office. My job is paying me. God knows I came to serve because of doing good, and I'm not there for money. If it is money, I have enough to take care of myself. So the summary of your question is that I contested the election, and Nigeria happened in the election. But today we are seeing what is going on.
All right. Also, before we go, you be the part and parcel of this state, the Abia state we're talking about, and then what is your assessment generally about this outgoing government, and what do people expect from the incoming government?
To be frank with you, I scored the government of Otti'S Bazon 15%. To me, let me tell you why. 15. Let me tell you why. The Otti'S Bazon's government did not perform well. On the issue of payment of salaries, it didn't perform well. On the issue of infrastructure, Abia State does not end in Aba. Go to Item, go to Ibere, go to the whole of Abia North, and show me one road. Show me what Otti'S Bazon did in those places. You agree with me that he didn't do anything there, or he did a little there? And from Item, can you drive from Umuahia to Item? The road there is very, very bad. Or just kind of came to tell us that road is not a federal road, it's a state road. Why can't the Otti'S Bazon government fix it? No. Go to the whole of Item, there is no evidence of having a government. The government, what you just did was just in Aba here and maybe no Bingwa. Even though people will complain, there's no more. So to me, when it comes to the issue of, I'm sorry to say, tribalistic, he ran a very tribalistic government. The other day, we had a problem with the government. We told them to come to a CNPA. The day he came, we came. We saw that all the special advisors that came were all from one part of the country, of the state. He ran a tribalistic government. There are so many areas I will tell you that he didn't do so well. To me, his government was a total fiasco. Total failure. Okay, look at it. I was with Otti'S Bazon when he was ASEPA deputy chairman of it. We were at NTA. I can show you the picture. I was with you like I'm with you now. That was why two of us were invited. We talked about ASEPA, talked about everything. Somehow we talked about bridge. There was the issue of this bridge that should be done at Waterside. In the end, that flyover hit Dosioma. My brother, go there. Yes, you see that flyover is not what about needs. Let's be honest to ourselves. If Otti'S Bazon had used that money to do a flyover at Waterside, it would have improved the topography of Aba. It would have improved the land, value of land in Obohel. That's what I'm saying. If that flyover had been done at Obohel, my brother, everybody would have been happy. That flyover that was done at Abai, it is not. Look at some S of the governor are so rich. That's this man will be one. He's so rich and he's contested election. He even won. That's why. What was he before the election? My brother, let's be honest with ourselves. Otti'S government did not do well. Then when it comes to the issue of Alex Otti, we were expecting so much from him. God will help him to succeed. We want him to succeed. We all wanted the Bazon to succeed, and we also how it went. Right now, anything I have about Otti is just a mere wish. By God's grace, we will see how he will perform, and we will all come back to analyze his government. Thank you.
All right. Before we finally call it a quit today, I really want you to revisit our discussion on Otti'S nullification. What is your advice going to the Labour Party and to Abians, considering what...
Other people should just be patient. That court is the court of first instance. There is still another court to go, court of appeal, and Supreme Court to go. They should be patient. 2, I will advise Labour Party to get the best lawyers and fight their case. Let them not sleep. It's a mandate given to them. In all honesty, we all know that they did very well in the election, but life is not all about doing so well. Something can happen and something will go wrong. Like in my own election, I was the most popular candidate, but it didn't fly the way I wanted. Something went wrong somewhere. That is how life works. It's not all about. The Bible says the race is not to the swift, neither is the battle to the mighty. You know, you may be very good, but in the end, it will go wrong. So let Labour Party set up a legal team that will fight it. But on the end, other people should be there, be patient, and wait, and let us see how it goes. But nobody should protest. But the good news is that on 29th, there will be a new government, certainly. Otti'S Bazon cannot have a constitutional right to continue remaining as governor at 29th. 2, the law does not recognize interim government, so there must be a new person. Then, if the court, Supreme Court, notifies the court, Supreme Court will not tell us who will be the new person. But if there is no notification, Otti will continue. That's it.
All right, our great and wonderful viewers, that's the much we are going to take today. Remember, it is your darling station, the Living Television. And I've been discussing with this human rights activist. You know him too well, just like St. Moses Obodna, the CEO of Living TV, is one of the lawyers that have suffered terribly because of justice, equity, and fairness. Barrister Empero Obodna, we are happy to have you in the studio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And this is your command, Chinedu Adiele, signing off for now. Remember, many more programs are coming your way. And don't forget that tomorrow we will also bring you Nigeria Today from the stable of the Living Television. So keep a date with us and keep watching Living TV. Bye for now.